Welcome to Socks Out Racing as we cover race 4 of the Spec MX-5 Open. This race took place on the 18th of July 2015. It was a lot riding on this race as many of the drivers were very close in series points. As we look at today's weather, it was actually really cool compared to the last few races with a 71 degrees Fahrenheit temperature, but we were back to partly cloudy skies. Strength of field was 1991. Our top qualifier again was Euro Nam with a 140.722. So let's get all the cars on the grid. Now with everybody up on the grid, this was the largest field we've had this season. Aeronam sitting up front, but also newcomer Carl Williams starting second. Burbage was trying to qualify but was having internet troubles, so he's starting from the garage in today's race. As the lights go green, we got all sorts of cars jockeying for position. It looks like Johnson had a bad start. Horsley's trying to maximize on it. And Osborne's taking a look to the inside of Hallberg, so this should be an interesting start. Ooh, is Inusi going to make it 3 wide? No, he's not. Wow, quite a lot of action at the beginning of this race. Hallberg and Osborne even, and looks like Horsley's got a rough start, but he's got the car together. Oh, maybe spoke too soon. Oh, he spun. Just really good thinking there by Gabriel McCloskey. And the 72 car checking up and keeping out of that. That could have been really bad. Back up to the battle for 5th spot. It looks like Hallberg got away from Osborne as Anusi is currently sitting 5th. Osborne takes the dive, and it looks like Johnson was thinking about following him, but decided to back out last minute. Anusi's not happy about it. He's having a hard time getting that rhythm, and it looks like Johnson's taking a look down the back straight. We'll see how this progresses. There's a lot of time here. Johnson pulling back into the draft of Anusi. Now this back straight is very long and the MX-5 has a big draft, so think about how you're going to play it as the race goes along becomes more and more important. Anusi's taking a look in turn 10, A and B. And under the Zuka Bridge, we've got, looks like Osborne's still in the lead. Starting to create a nice little gap there on Anusi. Going to lap 2, the leaders are still have a nice pace and no one's really battling yet, so we're going to stay here looking at this battle for 5th. Looks like Anusi's looking for another pass. He's looking to see where to make a move. Oh, Osborne's wide in turn 3. Turn 4, Anusi's catching up fast. Through the S's, Anusi's going to put it too wide. Oh no, Anusi's getting sideways. Taps Osborne, and Osborne's hard into the wall. Johnson's going to just take advantage of the mayhem and get an easy pass, taking back 5th. And here comes Trip Smith following up. Looks like he might be able to snatch 6th place away from Anusi. As we come up to turn 6, Smith, Anusi decides to drop behind Smith. Probably the best thing to do instead of trying another 2 wide after that last incident. So now we have a battle for 6 underway. Now Anusi is quick in previous races, so we know he's got a good car under him. And it seems to me the bigger thing he's been struggling with is consistency and knowing where to push and where to kind of pull back. And I think that's kind of what we saw there earlier in this lap. As it charged down the back straight, Anusi using the draft to set up on the inside of Smith. As we approach turn 10, through the chicane, Anusi a little bit loose in the first part. Smith holding a tight line on the exit, and there's Horsley catching back up as well. So it seems Horsley's been able to close quite a bit of ground despite his early spin on lap 1. As we roll into lap 3, Horsley's turning this 2-way battle into a 3-way battle. Come through turn 1, it looks like Horsley might have a run on Smith, but not quite enough to make a move. Going through turns 3 and 4, Smith seems to be falling back from Anusi, but Horsley is right there looking to gain that next position. Now it looks like Burbage is now on the track, but he'd been struggling with his internet connection. We like to call it CD, connect how dysfunction when you're having trouble in those regards. So, but he ended up just not being able to hold on. Oh, and Horsley goes too wide into turn 6, but Smith backs out and gives Horsley the position. Looks like Burbage might have pulled off. Yeah, he pulled off there, letting all the cars on the lead lap go by. If we recall, he actually drops back out due to network issues, so he isn't even able to finish a lap before his internet connection bites him, and that's it. It's a little bit disappointing considering where he was in points, so that's definitely going to hurt him a little bit as we move forward to race 5. Alright, so as we get onto lap 4, we're going to move back up to the front of the field as we got a battle for third starting to brew as Hallberg and Mulder start to get into it. Hallberg's been notably the second quickest driver in the race pretty consistently through the series thus far, and Mulder's really done a good job at trying to improve his pace and catching up with these Bushfink racing drivers. Johann's looking to the inside as they go into the back straight out of turn 7 and up to turn 8. As they climb the hill up the back straight, it looks like they're neck and neck. And they are. But it looks like Hallberg's got a little bit of a run on Mulder, so looks like Mulder's going to tuck back in underneath. Uh-oh, is Mulder going to set up? No, he's not. He's not going to set up and try something in turn 10. So as we move to lap 5, the battle for 6th steps up again as we got Horsley pushing Anusi. This back straight so far in the race has been kind of the ideal spot to set something up. And the draft really does play into that. I mean, you want to be ahead of the car behind you enough so they really can't utilize the draft to make a pass. But being the following driver, you want to stay close enough so you can use that to try to slingshot by. So it's this delicate balance. It's not enough that a slight difference is going, a big difference is going to make it. But if there's just a little bit, it could give you that push to put you into a spot. Oh, we got Horsley with a run out of 12. As we start lap 6, Horsley's taking a look to the inside of turn 1. Is he going to do it? And he does. He sticks it. And he doesn't run wide on the exit. That's one thing you always have to worry about when you take an early entry into turn 1. Anusi's definitely not happy about that. He's fought hard to get up to 5th, and now he's back down to 6th. Or sorry, worked back up to 6th, and now he's back in 7th. So back up to the battle for 2nd. We've got Hallberg now chasing after SR newcomer Williams. Now, despite these guys being teammates, they definitely had no problems putting the pressure on each other and seeing who could finish up higher at the race today. As we run too wide down the back straight, let's see, it looks like Williams is not going to push the issue into turn 10, but instead tuck behind, so Hallberg takes 2nd place. We've got Mulder just sitting there in 4th, just waiting for something to happen. Back for the battle of 6, it looks like Anusi got a run off Horsley down the back straight and takes back 6th position. So that was a short-lived position gain for Horsley, but Is he gonna, oh, he's gonna make it? No, he's not able to make a pass in turn 12. So Anusi will stay in 6th position as we start lap 7. Moving forward, the battle for second as we start lap 8 again heats up as Williams starts to pull back and start looking for that move on Hallberg, and he makes it turn 1 to the inside and closes the door coming into turn 2. Very aggressive, but time they get through turn 3 and 4, there's this sizable margin there. So further back, the battle for 5th, looks like Anusi and Horsley have caught up to Johnson. Going over the hill and through the S's. Anusi is just sitting there applying the pressure. I think Horsley's just sitting back there and just waiting for these two if something happens. And Horsley gets a little loose coming out turn 5 and into the wall. That's a big hit. So now it's just Anusi and Johnson fighting it out for 5th place. Anusi looking through turn 7 as they hit the back straight, and he's close enough to get that draft. Will he make use of it? Starting to pull. Left or the right. He's going to set up, it looks like on the outside of turn 10. And Johnson's going to be on the inside as they run 2 wide down the back straight. Now the question is, will Johnson try to push the issue in turn 10, which he's not. It looks like he's just going to tuck behind and let Anusi just run with it and see if he can follow. Moving ahead to lap 9. Looks like Hallberg is again close back the gap on Williams and is going to make a play for 2nd place again. You see Mulder back there, he's still hanging on. They've put a sizable gap on Mulder in 4th place, but if something were to go wrong, Mulder's still close enough that he could capitalize on a mistake. Hallberg with the run out of turn 7. Williams looks like he got a little loose and went to the outside on the, or actually the inside of turn 7 coming out. Looks like Hallberg was going to get the easy pass down the back straight, and Mulder's just trying desperately, I think, at this point to hang on. And oh no, mechanical trouble. It looks like Mulder just lost his steering, so that put him hard into the wall. He's gonna have to get a tow truck and get it back. Meanwhile, it looks like Johnson's gonna put some pressure on Anusi. Ooh, Johnson's taking a look, but can't get it done in turn 10. That's kind of a hard spot unless you really trust the driver. Later on in the race, Osborne was running in 10th and just got too wide in turn 1. Put the car hard into the wall, and that just pretty much ended his race there. As we go to lap 11, as you can see, the battle for second has not skipped a beat. Williams looking for that spot. He's looking for that opportunity to get around his teammate. It's kind of neat watching guys who are familiar with each other, who run with each other regularly. You can really tell because you can't really hide something from someone you race with for so long. They know your strengths, they know your weaknesses, and they know kind of where to apply pressure. So you tend to have this back and forth when you have these type of situations. Looks like Williams is going to use the draft down the back straight to close up the gap on his teammate. And he's going to choose the outside as we come up to turn 10. Looks like we're catching up to lap traffic. Now this could change the dynamic of this battle. Lap traffic always brings challenges to the table, and looks like we got 2 lap cars ahead. So we've got McCloskey and Horsley. Oh no, Horsley is wide again. Trying to recover it, bring it back, and no, into the wall. That's going to leave a mark, so he'll probably have to get that car towed back if he can not limp it to pit lane. Lap 13, we got 5 laps to go, and I think Hallberg is really starting to feel the pressure as Williams seems to have a gap. Oh, Hallberg takes a dive in turn 7. So what's going to happen here? It looks like Williams is again going to try to hold that outside, setting up for turn 10, and Hallberg is going to run for the inside. They've been doing this dance pretty much the entire last half of the race at least, so this is getting pretty common scene to see the 2 of these guys running too wide down the back. So are these guys going to go too wide into turn 10? It looks like they are. Oh no, looks like Williams just can't hold the speed on the outside line. He has to back out and give it to Hallberg. So as they finish up lap 13 and on to lap 14, with just 4 laps to go, not much really changes. And we hadn't really talked about Iro so much, but he pretty much started walking away from the field as soon as the light went green, and the fighting between his teammates just let him just go. So second place will go to Johan Hallberg, and his teammate Carl Williams will be taking home. So we have a Bushfink Racing podium, and Giuseppe fought really hard throughout the entire race and took home 4th. So we're going to end this week's recap with just a nice formation run from Bushfink Racing, and as they finish up their victory lap. So as we look at the points, a big shift for a number of the drivers. Mulder was able to get that qualifying point, which puts him even with Trip Smith in points this week. So he holds his gap for 3rd. Iro is able to move back to 1st, but he'll be missing next week, so a lot of points are going to go up for grabs at Watkins Glen, which will be on the 25th of July, 2015. Just a reminder, we will have a 60-minute practice session opening 2 hours prior to the race lobby. This will be the last race that we'll be accepting new entries for this series as we come up to the last 2 races. So if you want to get in, don't miss out. So until next time, keep it between the lines.